Hi,
Mm. Hello, hello.
τι κάνουμε?
Α, λαμπρά. Εδώ, κοιτάμε τα
Τι ωραία, μπράβο στο Γιάννη. Εγώ δεν
είδες.
πρόλαβα.
Mm. Δεν
Δεν
πειράζει.
πρόλαβα. Γιάννη,
Καλησπέρα.
μπράβο.
Καλώς το να...
Χαίρετε.
Λοιπόν, θα διαβάσουμε την ψυχοσύνθεσή σου με βάση τα σχέδιά σου. Θα προσπαθήσουμε να σε καταλάβουμε σαν χαρακτήρα τώρα.
Α, τέτοια.
Mm.
Παίζεις και έτσι. Πώς διαβάζουμε τον καφέ.
Βεβαίως. Όταν ήμουν φοιτητής, ένας φίλος μου έχει πατέρα ζωγράφο. Μεγάλο, ξακουστό ζωγράφο, τέλος πάντων, κερκυραίο, τέλος πάντων. Και εγώ ψιλοζωγράφιζα τότε και ήμουν πολύ κλειστός ο χαρακτήρας. Τέλος πάντων, μια φορά στην Καρδίτσα σπούδαζα. Έρχεται στην Καρδίτσα ο πατέρας του και μου λέει, του είχε πει ο φίλος μου ότι ζωγραφίζω σχετικά καλά και μου λέει, για ζωγράφισε μου κάτι. Και του κάνω 2 γραμμές και μου λέει, λοιπόν, εσύ είσαι έτσι και έτσι και έχω μείνει κάγκελο. Λέω, δεν ήξερα από πού να κρυφτώ εντωμεταξύ. Γιατί με έγδισε τελείως εκείνη τη στιγμή. Και λέω, ωραία φίλε, τι γίνεται τώρα. Τέλος πάντων. Και έχω την εντύπωση, αλλά δεν νομίζω ότι είναι μόνο στο σχεδιαστικό και στην οικοδομή να βλέπεις κάποιον να δουλεύει, αν έχεις εμπειρία.
Θα καταλάβεις, ναι.
Ναι, το καταλαβαίνεις σαν χαρακτήρα. Να δώσουμε άλλα 2 λεπτάκια. Πώς σου φάνηκε, ήταν δύσκολο, ήταν εύκολο?
Εξάσκηση είναι. Εντάξει, προσπαθώ να θυμηθώ τις εντολές συνέχεια, αλλά μόνο με την εξάσκηση. Έκανα και άλλα αντικείμενα. Δεν έμεινα μόνο σε αυτά.
Θυμάσαι πόσο χρόνο σου πήρε?
Όχι, δεν θυμάμαι.
Σε ώρες,
σίγουρα πάνω από ώρα το κάθε αντικείμενο, σίγουρα.
Ωραία. Δεν έχω να πω κάτι. Έτσι, δεν το έχω κουνήσει καθόλου. Απλά στο άνοιξα και τώρα θα το δούμε όλοι μαζί.
Μπράβο, ναι.
Λία, αν δεν μου λες να ρωτήσω, σχήμα, δηλαδή σαν new shape όταν κάνεις, που θέλω να το δώσω συγκεκριμένες διαστάσεις, όχι το box κατευθείαν. Πώς γίνεται αυτό?
Με γραμμή εννοείς, κάτι σαν
polyline? Ναι, μπράβο, ένα plane, ας πούμε, το οποίο εκείνη τη στιγμή το σχεδιάζω και παίρνει ύψος. Όπως...
Ναι. Οκ, θα το δείξω. Δεν είναι. Αντί για box κάνεις plane, δεν έχει.
Plane, αλλά το εμφανίζει πάλι με τις διαστάσεις τις συγκεκριμένες και εκεί πάνω βάζεις εσύ τις άλλες τις διαστάσεις που θέλεις στην ουσία.
Περίμενε. Αυτές οι διαστάσεις που έχει βάλει ο Γιάννης είναι κάτι άλλο.
Ναι, όχι αυτές.
Ωραία.
Εγώ λέω θα κάνεις ένα καινούριο σχήμα. Με το Shift Α το βγάζει 1x1x1, ας πούμε.
Ουσιαστικά ναι, βάζεις εκείνη τη στιγμή τις διαστάσεις. Απλά είναι γενικές διαστάσεις του αντικειμένου. Δεν σου μιλάει ειδικά, δηλαδή αυτή η γραμμή είναι τόση απόσταση, αν και υπάρχει ένα κουμπάκι μέσα που σου εμφανίζει όλες τις γραμμές με όλες τις αποστάσεις τους αυτόματα και να το δείξω.
Ναι, δηλαδή περισσότερο να βάζεις ένα custom object.
Όπως
δηλαδή,
το SketchUp, ας πούμε, που μπορεί να ενώσεις 5 γραμμές και να το κάνει κατευθείαν αυτό σαν ένα επίπεδο και μετά να το σηκώσεις, αν υπάρχει κάτι αντίστοιχο.
Ναι, κοίτα, οι γραμμές στο Blender είναι ψιλομάπα με την έννοια του ότι άμα έχεις κάνει AutoCAD ή κάποιο άλλο δυσδιάστατο που είναι ειδικά για αυτά τα σχήματα, θα σου φανεί λίγο σπάσιμο νεύρων.
Ναι.
Αλλά δεν τις χρησιμοποιείς περισσότερο ως βοηθητικά σχήματα. Να πεις σε κάποιο αντικείμενο να κάνει κάτι συγκεκριμένο. Δηλαδή, εγώ σπάνια θα βάλω μια γραμμή για να φτιάξω κάτι. Γιατί ουσιαστικά στο τέλος θα καταλήξει πάλι πολύγωνο, οπότε δεν έχει νόημα.
Auto-grid έχει, φαντάζομαι έχει το auto-grid.
Ναι, βεβαίως. Είναι στο Snap, ναι.
Στο Snap είναι, ωραία. Και μετά, ας πούμε, το array, π.χ. για το ράφι της βιβλιοθήκης αυτής εδώ, το οποίο όσο ανεβαίνεις πάνω είναι πιο στενά τα ράφια. Ναι. Υπάρχει ένα array το οποίο να μειώνει το πλάτος του, ας πούμε, ή κάνεις εκ νέου πάλι?
Υπάρχει ένας δεύτερος modifier που λέγεται lattice και ουσιαστικά βάζει το αντικείμενο σου μέσα σε ένα κλουβί και στο κλουβί μπορεί να κουνήσεις
Ωραία.
τα σημεία του και θα παραμορφώσει ό,τι βρίσκεται μέσα αυτό. Αλλά δεν... εντάξει.
Εντάξει. Ωραία. Να μιλάμε στα αγγλικά τώρα, γιατί πρέπει
Ναι,
κάποιος να μπει.
So, Claudia, okay. So, we will start. We will continue, of course, in English. Sorry, Claudia, for the Greeks.
No problem. I'm
Greek
here
sounds.
just only half hour because then I have next meeting. But
Sure.
until-
Great. So now we are going to review the objects of Yannis. I have opened both files. We are just viewing one of them, and it's random. So I can see that he has made a UI, a user interface, as he likes it so far. I have seen that he has named most or all of his objects and collections, which is good. So he will find his way back if something goes wrong. I am seeing that he likes the dimensions. Great. The objects look very good from this distance. And we are viewing things in the shader, the viewport shading, using the real-time render engine of Blender Eevee. Now, I can see that he uses a mix for the snap, so that's a lot of selections.
Yes.
This is probably something he did because he felt like to recreate the feeling of a known program. You wouldn't use so many snaps in Blender. So it's at the start, you want to hang on to something that you know, and you try to make Blender as a program you already know, and it's common. It's to be anticipated. And let's see the transform. This is an experiment, because it's even the median point, the snapping transform, is hard for me and a lot of people to explain what it does correctly, because by the icon you see that there are two objects and they have a common point, a common origin point, but not their origin point. Okay, it makes up a common point at the center of the selection, so you can move them based on that. This is I've never used this. So, but of course, if I haven't used something, that doesn't mean that you won't use it. Okay, so let's. I will make a full screen by pressing. Wait. I have it here. Screencast, yes. By pressing Control and Space, I will go full screen. And now let's see. So this is the first item is fine. Let me check for where is it? Modifier keys. Where is it? Sorry. Now it shows my the layout is of Yannis, but the add-ons are mine, of course. So don't expect them to be seen there. So he used an array for the bottom one, correct? Of course, an array for the vertical ones. This perfect. Now this object is perfect, and it's a medium level of, let's say, perfection. What am I trying to say? That in reality, this bottom piece and this side piece will never be exactly placed at the corner, because I know that we like, as architects and interior designers, and that we like to place everything at perfection, but nature and humanity doesn't work like this. So what you should try.
We need to bevel the edges.
But yes, but before we go to bevel, we must place, even if it's not so like that, you should do something like this. Just move, just move a bit, like 0.5 millimeter, like do it like this. So because this will be apparent in render. If you look around you, you might have not seen it, realized it, but your eyes make something as a frame, as an outline on every object you look. If you look really, if you concentrate, you will see that object like it has an outline. And that helps a lot in rendering. If you try and make something that creates an outline, that's why we bevel the edges, because it will create, is the scale weird? Wait. No, it's fine. Wait, so, wait, find it. Modifier keys. So, this is one millimeter. You can see just by the preview, the shading preview, that it creates. Of course, you're never going to place a camera so close to the object, right, and see the bevel so close. But from here, you can see that it creates white lines and black lines. If we had a floor and stuff, black lines on the opposite side, and you see an outline, and this helps very much in realism. So the bevel, we could leave the bevel like this, but let's place 6 segments, and yeah, and that's it. So you see that. Let's try and to see this. Let's make it plain. Now you see at the top we have white edges, white outline edges, and on the bottom we have black edges. You cannot escape this outline effect. Okay, so it's good to have it. And this is a big problem in changing your perspective on how you make stuff, because nothing is perfectly placed, and you must at first you will create your models perfectly, and then you will start, after you create them, then the next thing is to make them wrong, to change them a bit.
Realistic, yes.
Yeah, not so much as to mess up the drawing or the general dimensions. But now you see this, it looks more, something a human would do. Now, let's go
like
here.
we built it from IKEA, let's say.
Yes, yes, yes. And if you can place all those scratches on the surface and on the textures, even if you mess up the lighting, even if you mess up everything else, it will look like your item is 100% realistic and everything else is fake. If you place the scratches, the dust, the difference in dimensions, the bevels, and a perfect, even if it's a perfect model, and you just paint it white, no texture on it or anything, it will look as if it's the only real thing in your image. Now, let's see this. What we have here. Where is my? Wait. Because I'm on full screen, I want this here to be pinned. Now, okay. So we have an array modifier. Very correctly, he placed a bevel modifier on the edges, because now we have the, no, he didn't. It would be nice. Now, you see that undo, he tried to place a bevel so he can bevel the edges to look more realistic, but the bevel doesn't work. Well, yeah, it doesn't work because it found a stop somewhere. It read here at the center. He made a bigger bevel while modeling, which is correct, okay, but it beveled too much, and one let's do it here, and one edge met the other.
The other.
And it stopped the bevel modifier to, he did this. He took it too far and one edge fell on the other. So here now you should do a weld. Go to points, select every point for easy, to ease the work. Press M and merge by distance. So, but this is too, the distance is too small, 0.1. And now they're merged. And now if I place a bevel modifier, it works. Here, it works. So now, let's go back. You could use, let's do it. So tab to go on edit mode, press 1 to go to, if you're not already on the vertices, press A. Now he did an array, so I was looking at the let's say a ghost object of the array. Here is the original one. So select everything, press M, merge by distance, and it says removed 0 vertices. So that means that something is going wrong. So we should try and find what's wrong about it. And you should always try and find what's wrong about it, because if you just undo, you'll never learn how to fix it, and for sure in the future something like this will appear again. So I will select an edge. This is not the steps I will take now to find out what is wrong, what goes wrong is are not, you know, standard. So let's just see. I'll select this edge and another edge below appears. So now I am wondering why the merge didn't work. Let's do it again. Merge by, it worked. So I did something wrong. Removed 4 vertices, it says at the bottom. So now I know I can do the bevel will work. And it's not, so something else. It's let's check. Why is the scale wrong? The scale of the edit. No, scale is correct. So probably there's another vertex somewhere in the drawing that messes things up. Let's do it again. On all M by distance, no. So why? Okay, so it's limit method angle, so it's correct. Let's do a weight bevel. I will explain it. That doesn't work. So it's not the weight. I have no idea. You know, you could be stuck on fixing a problem for 1 or 2 hours. Affect edges. It should work. With absolute, no. I'll delete it. Maybe the bevel modifier is not deleting. So it's it's a program error. Let's go here. It's this add-on. I have the modifiers panel. You see here. I use it because if I go full screen, I want to continue seeing the modifiers, and if I don't have it, I cannot see, because you see them, the modifiers on the options panel, you see them here, but if you go full screen, they won't appear, so I use it. So that was a program error. Someone should write to the add-on creator that it has this problem. So now what happened is that the bevel modifier wasn't actually placed. So let's go bevel, it works, great. You see that now that I could have spent the next 40 minutes without knowing what's going on. Okay, now this is fine. You've forgotten on both objects to do a right-click shade auto smooth, so it would look smooth. Now the shelves are equal in depth. I don't know if it's like that in reality. I don't mind. What else? Maybe you haven't placed the bevel here, no problem. Usually we bevel everything. Okay. But fortunately, we can bevel them in the material section. If you have a whole object with a lot of things and you just want to bevel the edges, and you could place a modifier on everything, but the polygon count would go really high. If you want that bevel to be the same on every part of the object, let's say 1 millimeter, just to show something on the render, we have a node in the textures that is called the bevel node, and it goes into the normal slot. We will explain all of this. Bevel node, and we have a radius. This is in millimeters. So in millimeters. So I want 0.02. It is. No, it's in meters. Yes, it's in meters. So I want 3 millimeters of radius, and these are the samples of how good it will show. And let me show you. Let's go to rendering, and for you to see how it looks. So the shelf has a bevel, a polygon level bevel. Okay, the polygons are beveled, and the column doesn't have a polygon bevel. It's a material bevel, and you see that it looks like it's beveled. And from afar away, it's like the same thing. But it's a little worse. It's a little worse than the real bevel. So you will select where you use it. But it saves you a lot of time. So how we could do it better, I think the models are, apart from the thing I showed you at first, just move the things a bit out of place. And also that works if you just make things a bit out of place, but in a more general way, like when you have many items at a row, maybe just move this a bit here, and this a bit here. Just imagine that a worker who is paid, who hasn't have a good salary would do. He would place some stuff, not exactly. He wouldn't measure it, and that gives the impression that someone placed them there in a hurry, let's say, and went out for beers or something, which is a good thing to do. Now, this is an okay polygon count. I was expecting more polygons here, but that would be wrong. I was expecting more polygons because that would be a beginner's mistake. You should try to make curves like the shelf curve look good from a distance of 1 meter, let's say. You see, this is a good number of segments, of sides. If you know that your item will be viewed from here, let's say 5 meters away, there's no real point on making, placing a lot of, not even a bevel most of the time.
Okay.
But this is a good model as a base. So let's go to this one now. The first thing I noticed on this one is that you try to make it exactly like the picture, which is correct. You should know that 90% or 95%, I think I told you before, of the IKEA catalog is rendered images, and mostly is made with a V-Ray renderer. And of course, they're really good. But that's not because it's the V-Ray renderer. That's because they use, let's say for fabrics, there's a documentary from V-Ray for this kind of stuff, that they use a scanner which is like 3 meters by 1, and they place fabrics in it, and it's a specialized scanner that measures also the depth of the fabric, of the strings, and they have professional photographers, and no one is doing everything like modeling materials and lighting. Everyone is doing their specific part, and probably someone making this item would have made just the shelves, the drawers mechanism. Okay. And also leaving something like this open adds to the realism. Okay. Look, it's better if someone sees your image and thinks who left the door open and took a professional photograph of the space with the furniture inside. It's better for someone to say that than saying that doesn't look realistic. Because at the first you fooled them, at the second he found you out. and the goal is to fool everyone with your image. Okay. Now, of course, we could make some changes here. Move it here a bit. Maybe select this, move it here a bit, here, and we should make place bevels, here. Anyway, the same things, but he also made the back, of course. And as you can see, Blender has no problem with the Greek language, thankfully, here. And everything is fine. There's absolutely no problem with this model. It's easily usable and imported in ArchiCAD. Just to remind you, if you want to import your model in ArchiCAD, just leave the bevels before you import it. Okay, or when you just turn off the modifier before you do the import, because there's no real reason to do realistic bevels in ArchiCAD. But well done, Yanis.
Thank you.
It's perfect. It's fine. No problem. I see no problem.
Thank you.
So let's go to the library. The bookshelf. The bookshelf again, really fast now. And let's go to the next step. Before placing materials, we need to unwrap the model, and which is a different thought process altogether. So, sorry, we had a question, how to make shapes. There is a really meaning that how can we make a shape like a polyline and then make it a polygon and then extrude it to create the volume and all that stuff. In online tutorials, you will see many times someone doing this, making a plane, pressing tab to, wait, where is it? Screencast keys. Pressing tab to go to edit mode, selecting one vertex. It's a bit weird. Anyway, selecting one vertex pressing P to separate it from the other part of the object and separate selection. Okay. Now delete the original delete the original plane. Select the vertex because this vertex exists. And since you separated them, and so now select the vertex, press E for extrude, and try to make a shape, whatever shape they like, and send it back with a snap to the beginning. I don't have the auto merge vertices turned on, so it didn't merge. So I need now to select both of them, press M, merge by distance, and it says removed one vertex because it joined them. And then select, go to edges, select all those edges, and press F to fill the shape, then E for extrude. And that's a way to create a shape. Another way to create a shape is to, I find it easier not to do all this movement and just place a plane and go to vertices and try to move them around as I want. And if I want more vertices on an edge, this edge, if I select those vertices, the edge also is selected because an edge is made out of two vertices. So it automatically selects the edge, right click and subdivide. The keyboard shortcut W is shown here. So, and I just cut the edge in half. It subdivided the edge. And it also created a panel here. If I want more subdivisions, number of cuts, it says here. So let's place 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. Don't go too many, because you will have to move everything. Yeah, it's going to get hectic. So I have selected these edges, press W since it's the shortcut. Place some more here and try to make my shape. Now I know that it looks edged. My shape is not smooth, but you can smooth it out, let's say with a bevel. If I select these vertices and press Ctrl B to bevel, I'm sorry. It's a different shortcut for beveling vertices. It's Control Shift and B. So I can bevel here. I will the middle mouse, the wheel. If I move the wheel up and down, it adds segments. So here you go. It's more smooth. Let's try and smooth this one. Just try to make these vertices have equal distance between them. So Control Shift and B. And here you go. And this is smoothed out. Of course, we have also the option to smooth it using the subdivision modifier, Control +1 or 2. I press 2. Now this is smoothed out, but my original edges here, my corners, maybe I would like to keep them. So in the modifier, you see an option that says in the advanced section, boundary smooth instead of all. If you click, keep corners, and it keeps my corners. So let me make it a bit smoother here. And it's not smooth enough. I don't know. Is it? It looks more smooth at these points. Did I forget no, I don't know why. Anyway, and you will see this thing is happening here, which is a mistake because my polygon has more than 4 sides. So if I divided this, if I add edges here with a knife tool, let's say, this is now correct. And I keep my 5 polygons, which is very low for a model. Instead of beveling the vertices and creating a lot of polygons, I just have a modifier that makes it smooth. Anyway, now, but the problem after that is that if I try to give it a volume, oh, this thing happens. And now we will talk about this in another lesson, which uses the subdivision modifier more. So it says here edge data. I can increase this mean crease, and I need to do it also here. Yep. It's a weird model to do, so don't. For some reason, I need this model. Okay, and it's like this. I didn't increase it enough here. Anyway, it's really random. This shape is really random. So let's go Shift A, create a cube with Z to 40 X. No, 40 depth to thickness. Let's go to wireframe. Let's go to options here. Go to origins. If someone thinks I'm going fast, let me inform you that I have made this thing the past 2 lessons, so you can go there to look at it with greater detail. So click on options, click on origins, set my origin point to the bottom because I like my origin point to be at the floor. Now I will move my location on the z-axis from -120, just press 0 and go to the floor. Let's say if I create a plane, this is my floor, whatever. This is my floor, delete it, I don't want it. So let's not do instances, let's do modifiers. So Q to open my quick favorites and click the array modifier. And oh, I forgot to reset my scale. So bevel on later steps, bevel will become weird. So Control A while I have selected my object, click on apply scale. And I want to go to the y-axis, but not on relative offset, which is relative to the dimensions of my original model, but on constant offset, because I want to say, I want you to go to 42 centimeters on the y-axis, and I want 4 of you. Let's press Shift and D to create duplicates, R for rotate on the x-axis by 90 degrees, and G for grab, snap, here, press tab 1 for vertices, snap here. Let's make maybe a bit more. I want to make also a skirting. So move on the z-axis by 10 centimeters. And what's here? This is a little gap. So I will place my cursor on the number. It turns into 2 arrows. I will press Shift to increase the steps by 0.1 instead of 1 centimeters. So you don't need to calculate it. It seems okay. It seems perfect. So I will now place another array modifier on the same object. Quick favorites, click on array modifier. I will close. I will not delete it. I will press the small triangle and close the section of the first array modifier. Of course, I can name it array. I usually do array V for vertical. If someone takes your drawing and reads it, they will know. So again on the y-axis with constant offset, and 42. Oh, it's not the y-axis. I haven't reset my rotation. Okay, so Control A, rotation. And it changed my first array, so no worries. Control X and Control V because I don't want to write. And let's go to the y-axis 42. And it's on the other way, so minus 42. And 3 counts. Okay, I like it. And what should I do now? Let's make a skirting. Let's select this one, Shift and D, copy it, and rotate it to the y-axis 90. Great. Reset the rotation. And I don't like which one. No, I like that modifier. I will press X on the first modifier here, and this is getting a bit much, so I don't want to see the modifier as I work on this object, so I will click on the display modifier in viewport and in edit mode. So, and this only stays, so I will press G for grab and go to the front with a holding control for temporary snap, click, and move it now back 2 centimeters, G on the x-axis minus 2 centimeters now. Okay, press tab, go to vertices, and I'm really bored in orbiting this thing, so I will go to X-ray mode, and I have a shortcut on the space bar for X-ray mode because I use it all the time. And seeing it in X-ray mode enables me to select the vertex I don't see normally. And this I can select it. So, but I cannot select the back, this one. So X-ray mode, select these vertices, G for grab on the Z-axis lock, and now I see clearer this point. You don't need to go to some point here in the front. I can move my cursor wherever I want, and if I find a point here, let's say, I can use that point. No need to strain your eyes here. So get off X-ray mode by pressing spacebar and turn on the modifier. And we're here now. Let's create. Now let's change the shape a bit. Since my origin is in the middle of the sideboards of this object, if I change its dimensions, it will change towards the back and towards the front, equal distance, which is really nice to break, let's say, my object. So the x-axis says 40 centimeters. So I know this. Wait, be careful, because the y-axis, it says 128 centimeters, which of course, it's not the dimension of the one, but of the whole object. Because now if I close my modifier, it goes back to 2 centimeters thickness. Okay, so don't watch out for that. And so the 40, I will change it to 41, let's say. So it took some distance from the front and from the back, and maybe this gives me the option to create a back. So I like this. No, it's better if I select the skirting. So Shift and D, because I don't want an instance duplicate, because if something goes wrong, everything changes, and I will need to keep track of what I have changed. Now, of course, the gap here is not 2 centimeters thickness. So let's select the original object. I press tab to go to edit mode, and the modifier has still the display modifier in edit mode turned off. So it shows us only one of the 3 items. So I select its polygon, and let's go look at it somewhere that I can find a good snap. I always remember where my red axis, the x-axis, and where my green axis, the y-axis, are. And so I automatically press X here. And now this is 0.5. It's not completely correct as a wood panel, because mostly you have dimensions that escalate by 0.2 or not even numbers. But for those of you who had the opportunity to work in a factory, even if you make an order for sheets of wood, of melamine, let's say, or OSB or something like that, to make a furniture, and you ask for 1.8 centimeters of thickness, let's say, when the order comes to your factory, the first thing you do is to measure each panel's thickness, because it's never going to be 1.8. Okay, and it's unfortunate for the perfectionist type you are, because your drawing will not work. Okay, of course you know this from construction sites for buildings. I assume that nothing goes as ordered. So I pressed tab to get out of edit mode, and of course my modifier worked, and the name is wrong here. It's not an array modifier on the horizontal dimension. Just let's delete this. It's just an array. Now let's place some bevels, and let's for polygon efficiency, let's place bevels only where someone might see the furniture from. There is no point of placing bevels at the back side of your furniture. They will never be seen. Maybe you want to make everything perfect. I'm with you, no problem. If you have a good enough graphics card, you should, no problem. And also, look, if this item is going to go in a library, meaning not this library, in a library of assets, better make it perfect, because if it's going to be used in the future drawings, you should do it in a way that frees up time. That's the reason of creating a library of assets. So let's select the sideboards, and let's place a bevel on these front two edges, not at the edge that is on the floor, because you will see in reality half of the bevel, half of the smoothing polygons. So there's no real reason. The best thing you could do if you want to be realistic here is just select all your object and move it on the z-axis by 1 millimeter. This will create a black line, because light is going to be faded out in there between the floor and your furniture is going to be faded out, sorry for the repetition, and it would create this outline effect I told you before. So you're okay there. We are just trying to create outline effects. So tab, I will select these two edges, and on my transform panel here, it says edges data. Edges can have some data. So we read below mean. I don't know what it says mean. I should look it mean bevel weight. So the weight and the word weight is a good thing here, and you will see why. And the value begins from 0 and can end up to 1. So these edges turned blue. You don't see them blue because I'm also selecting them. If I click somewhere else, you will see now they are deep blue, which means they have a weight on them. And if I go out of edit mode, press Q for my quick favorites, and go to bevel, click bevel, you will see now it doesn't work, because the options on the bevel modifier are, let's minimize the array, are on a limit method called angle. And that means, and below it says the angle, the value of the angle is 30 degrees. That means that if two polygons have less than 30 degrees corner between them, angle, more than 30 degrees, the bevel modifier will be applied. So let's, just to see, let's select this edge and try to move it towards here, effectively minimizing the angle between the side polygon and the depth polygon. And you see, if I go beyond this point, the degrees between them, and it means this corner, not the interior corner. Of course, the interior corner probably is, you know, let's see how it is. Anyway, you can measure corners with this. If you place a dimension somewhere and you click on the number afterwards, you can place. Look, it doesn't show it because it tries to. It's the bevel modifier turned on. So let's go here and let's move this dimension here, and our angle is this now. So it's the opposite angle. I don't remember how it's called. It's 25 degrees, so less than 30. Anyway, undo. So we should turn the bevel modifier from angle to weight. And now it reads the weight, which edges have weight. And our amount of beveling is too high, it's 10 centimeters. And typically for a bevel for melamines, you know, whatever, if you see the wood panels in front of you, it's 1 millimeter up to 3 millimeters. If you go beyond that, 3 millimeters, it means probably that it's made with a router tool. And it doesn't have probably, it doesn't have a side tape, you know. So I usually like 0.3. It seems a bit much, but it looks better from distance because it gives it more surface to reflect, to make the reflection here. Right click auto smooth, okay. And also when I want to have this typical corner because between two polygons, you see, let's see, here, you see this side and this side are shaded, have a shade that doesn't look like it now, but they are curved. This is because of the normals. This is a whole part of theory. Anyway, this is because of the normals, the direction that the polygons are looking at and how the program tries to smooth them out. Because I right-clicked Shade Auto Smooth, I told it to shade these polygons. But as the program tries to go on this side, it tries to smooth out. I know this is technical, but it's important. It tries to smooth out this polygon, this little polygon with the side. And this effect happens. And there are 2 points, the 2 things you can do. Either click on harden normals and you see the shading is changed, something is changed. Or you can place a modifier that's called weighted normal and click on keep sharp. I need to remove smooth angle. No, this is too technical for you. Wait, instead, you can easily solve this, not remembering any clicks, right-click Shade Auto Smooth, by changing the profile here. And you see, this shape here is 0.5. That means that the bevel it's trying to do is a part of it's a part of a perfect circle. This is a quadrant. If you change if you have played with it while you try, look, if I change it, it changes shape. Now, this shading problem stops at 0.65. This keeps a good bevel amount for the corner to make the reflection highlight, and also removes the problem of the smoothing. Because if you look here, let me change something, because when I go really close, it clips my my viewport clips, and you can change this by here on the view panel, clip start 0.1. Now you see it smooths out, it tries to smooth out this little polygon, and now this polygon, which are nearly straight, okay? So it keeps trying to smooth this one and the whole surface. Anyway, it's too technical, but it's it has an impact on the rendering, because you won't know what goes wrong, but you will know something is wrong. So I have a bevel here, my edges are nice, and why not, let's try and use the same bevel modifier to the shelves. One last thing, why the weight of the bevel? So let's show this on another shape. Have I talked for almost 1 hour? Wow, okay. So Shift A, make a cube, and I will make a bevel here. I will make the bevel weight here to 1, and I will make the bevel here to 0.25. Okay. So, and you see the bevel that was 1 is more blue than the bevel that is 0.5. Now, if I place my bevel modifier here, and I go to weight, you see that the amount of 10 centimeters of bevel is full on here, and this is a quarter because I wrote 0.25. So it's really convenient if in a shape, in the same shape, you have two different bevels. Okay, so let's try and place the bevel also here. Now, if I go to my modifiers, for this object, I have two array modifiers, and I will turn off to show them in edit mode. So when I click tab, or when I press tab, it just shows me the original shelf, and I will select, I'm on the measure tool. I will select those two edges and add weight to them. I haven't placed a bevel modifier with the weight turned on yet. I will borrow it from this object. So I have this object selected. You see the blue line, the outline is really cyan blue, more blue. And then I press Shift to add to my selection, and the last selected object that has this kind of blue, that the leader of both of the objects is shown, and it shows me, of course, the modifiers of the last selected object. So I go to this little triangle here, but only of the bevel modifier, and select copy to selected. And you see my edges went bevel because my bevel just add to the bottom of the list, just was added to the bottom of the list of the modifiers. And now I don't I don't have to. Why did I take so long? Is it 20? Yeah, I did 1 hour. Okay. And so let's select it auto smooth. No, next time I won't do the bookshelf again. I will just quickly explain to you the UVW unwrapping process, just the methodology of it. And it's unfortunate that you need to apply material to see it in full effect. But essentially, if you have ever wrapped a present for someone, you placed a box, let's say, to an open piece of paper, the wrapping paper, and you tried to fold the paper on top of the present. Okay. So the way you made creases on the paper, you broke angles on the paper. These are the seams, like the fabric seams, the seams of the model. This tube, by default, is unwrapped. If I press Tab and select all of the polygons, you see this is the sides of this tube are unwrapped by default in this way. Okay, it's unfolded this way. If now but this object doesn't have any seams. Sorry. If I select this edge, right click and go to mark seam to mark this edge as a cut, as a seam, not a real cut, just a UVW and a wrapping process cut. And maybe this, let's say I select these edges and mark seam. And let's say I select also these top edges, okay, not the bottom ones, just to see what happens. Mark seam. Now, I select all the polygons, press 3 to go to the polygons, press A to select everything, and now press U to unwrap. And the unwrap menu comes up. Now in 3.2, this is a different unwrap menu. But hopefully you have 4.3, which has this menu, which is better. And I select, let's say, angle-based, and see what happens, how the shape on my right changes based on the way I place the seams. So click. Now, what did I look at the shape? I told my shape to be opened up this way, and I cannot look. You can see which edges are red, that they are seamed. So what happens? This polygon is connected with this polygon. I haven't placed a seam on this edge, so it's connected. So this is a polygon. This polygon is connected to this polygon. And all around it opens like a flower, okay, let's say. And this polygon you see here is this one, which has seams all around. So it's a different shape. Let's try and unwrap this box in a way that we keep also on the same shape this polygon. Let's remove this seam, clear seam, and let's see how this unwraps now. Select everything, you unwrap. And of course, you see that it's unwrapped like the default way. So really quickly, I will place a material, a wood material here, just for you to see how the wood grain shows. And of course, this is going to be from my lovely libraries of my lovely expensive libraries, and import material, and let's go to this, and let's let it a bit compile. Now you see that the wood grain goes from one side to the next. Okay, let's place seams everywhere, and let's see how our texture will look. Mark seam, select all the polygons, you unwrap, and you see this doesn't look good. Excuse me, because the grain goes up to here, and then the grain has a different direction, and also these sides, this doesn't have a continuous of wood grain. So everything has seams, everything is cut out from one another. These are just polygons flattened out somewhere in this unwrap panel. So let's remove this seam. Clear seam and select all the polygons, unwrap it. And you see, of course, that the wood grain, since I have unwrapped these two polygons without any cut between them, you see that this black line of the wood grain continues. And this this should be done here because it's nice if we have a continuous wood grain from this side up to the bevel from the front and to this side. So if I was to make seams here, I don't care about this side because no one will see it. So I will select the polygon, go to edges. So because I selected the polygon and went back to edges, all of the edges of the polygon selection are shown, mark seam, and I will unwrap this box by adding these seams here, mark seam. And this, of course, goes to all the panels here. And last thing, I will place the material I have here. That's great. I haven't unwrapped it still. So tab 3 for polygons, press A for everything. You unwrap and you see that the grain now goes nicely from one side to the other. And you can see also that my texture, because I have the array modifier, is without difference shown on the other panels, but I can go to my array modifier and go to UV's section and drag the U slider, and it changes for my copies, and I will select everything now and Control L to link transfer data, copy, where is it? Link materials. Of course, the grain on the shelves is on the wrong direction. So I press tab, go to my.
I have to go now.
Yes,
Thank
I'm
you
sorry.
so much.
I'm sorry. Bye.
Bye.
So if I place seams on the same way here, mark seam 3, all you unwrap. Now it makes this, it tries to unwrap it the best way it can. So let me select this and rotate it. No, the other way here. And that's it. We are going to do again the unwrapping process with different shapes, more complex. And so you have a better understanding of it. But I will also place a YouTube tutorial that explains it, the unwrapping process. And thank you for staying more than you should. I hope I will also place something for you to try and make. You don't have to remember any of this. You don't need to. You should try it and do stuff with unwrapping, and you don't have materials yet, but you can download images and place them. If you would like, I will place also YouTube tutorial with materials, the basic stuff, and we will explain it also together. So if you have any questions, I want to stay, please ask, and I will happy to answer. So you understood everything. I'm really happy.
Okay.
So bye, and I will upload the lesson on YouTube. Okay.
Okay, Elias.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.